Okay, welcome back. I apologize if you hear my fan. Um, I have to talk lower so the fan might get picked up more. It's hot as shit in my room for some reason, my office. So, um, like I said in the last video, I wanted to come back to this. So what we were trying to do last time was figure out how to save like global state. Um, and so we can do that this way. We need to create a .config file, which will go on root. So let's go ahead and do that in our init. First we need to check and load it. So we need to, this will return settings, I think. So in C, check and load returns an integer, does not return settings. It just loads it into the global struct. So load setting config, load the settings .config file by extracting the value, the passed and key. Right. So if I recall, settings in this used to be like well, we can do it up here. Where are you? These are the settings, right? So in the file, in the .config file, they'd just be key values. So it'd be like color enabled equals 0 for false, 1 for true, or something like that. So that's pretty straightforward. So what we need is an array of our config str, and it's going to be 4 total, I think, or 5 total, and they're going to be color enabled auto student ID generation enabled. In fact, we could just call it color, right? And then the value will determine if it's enabled or not, and we don't have to worry about that. Next we'll have runtime logging, and then we'll have skip. These I don't get. Skip info confirmation and skip the entry prompt. I don't remember what those are, but that's okay. So we have, what's the problem here? Oh, straight comma. Perfect. Let's call them settings. Okay. Now, we need to get all of those in fact, I might, let's change this default settings Yeah, let's do that. And then we'll set it equals 0 for all of them. Okay, so well, these will set to default 1. Okay. So now we need to actually get these into the file. I'm pretty much gonna do the same thing. We might just do it on startup. Yeah, I think I want to do the same exact thing, but we'll do it up here, right? The same exact thing, and then we'll just go 5, and we're gonna do config. What the heck? Config file. Config file and response 5. For now, it doesn't really matter. I know it's out of order. Okay. Excuse me. So let's just make sure we're creating the file. And there it is, config. Oh, it's in logs. I messed that up. This needs to just be on root. It's still in log. Why is it in log? Oh, I didn't change both. If it doesn't exist, create it on root. Alright, let's try that again. And there it is, config. Okay. I did make it in a couple different places. Let me double check one more time to make sure we're good. And it's not it's not on root, it's on there. There you go. What the fuck is happening? Config. There you go. Now it's on root. Okay. So we create the config file there. Perfect. And this is all in startup. Now what we need to do is append the initial values of the config file. So append config. Let's do append default configs, and it'll just take the. It doesn't take anything since it's a global declared on file scope. We don't need that. We can just do this. il.append. No, il.append file, and we need the path, which is just going to be // config file, and then the content is going to be I think about this. For each item in default settings, and we're gonna pin item. So one thing about Easy that I am excited to do is I personally, after programming in it more and more, I'm realizing I am personally tired of having mute everywhere. Um, so next thing one thing I want to work on soon is you won't no longer need mute when declaring variables all the fucking time. Um, yeah. Okay. So that should be good. // config file. So in here, if it doesn't exist, do that. Okay, let's try this again. And now our configs. Oh, I forgot the new line characters. Let's go here. And now we're good. Okay, perfect. Now, previously, I mean in the C code, truthfully, I don't even need a struct like this. I could just have a map if I really wanted one. I don't know if I really want one though. Alright, see here, show. Loading the settings. We need to read from the file. Now, one thing I also am missing. Oh, we do have read lines. Beautiful. So let's do this. Let's make another function here, or we have a function here. Let's go ahead, delete that. Mute lines equals io dot read lines, and we're gonna do config file / config file, and we'll ignore the error for now. Print lines, and let's call this function up here in main, or wherever main is. Where is main? Main is here. Okay. Perfect. All right. So what we need to do is for each one of these, simple enough, we need to split each line by the equal signs character. So we'll call this content. So for each hold on, let me see. We need to import. So for I in range 0, length of content +1. Yeah, let's just do it like that. We need to take the we need to do a strings.split from the equal symbol, and we'll get more arrays. So This is the tricky part. This is a tricky part. Um, mm. I say it's tricky because we need to make sure the order is correct. And technically somebody could change a config file if they really wanted to. I could create a check to make sure everything is in order properly. Let's do verify config format. Mm. So we're going to split content I by the equal symbol, and we're going to print out stir. Okay, perfect. So now we need to actually get each one of those in order. So we need to get each one of those in proper order and load them up correctly. So problem. How do I actually do that? I can check if the name matches, but that doesn't check it like check it to what? You know what I mean? It doesn't make very much sense to do it that way. There is a still mute stir array is going to be type string array. Now we can just do stir array equals that. Now we have access to it out of this scope. And so now we're going to do now I think about it. No, that doesn't work because stir, each one is its own array. So I somehow need to get the value. Shoot. Let's do config value. It's going to be type string. Let's send it. Integer. Okay. But we need access to it out of the scope, I think. So config if strings dot no. Damn, this is a tricky one. This might be not the cleanest fucking thing, but um, if stir array index 0 equals colors, I think I called it, right? Color. Println stir array 1. Color config value is 0. Okay. Let's do global, what did I call it? Program state dot settings. We don't need name or value. We don't need that anymore. That was C stuff. We don't need that. But we do need color enabled. You know what? I could just zero initialize it. I don't have to do this. And so I could do program state dot settings dot color enabled equals whatever this down here. 1 and whatever the stir config value. Now value, we need to do this. We need to do, oh jeez, I don't remember what it was. I think it was easy man built-ins. This needs to be fixed. These are not accurate. I have a specific function for this. It might be in strings. Yes. To int can really? What? Okay. Also now we can just do config name. Okay. And lastly, what we'll do in main, I mean, it's set to 0 anyway. I'm curious if I hard code it to be 1, what would happen to make sure it's working. But in here, we're going to just println program Now we can't print the entire struct, if I'm not mistaken. We have to actually print the. We can't use string interpolation. That's what it is. But we can't print the struct. We can just do program state. And there we go. So that's still all 0. Perfect. So we'll know we got it when we actually do. I'm just going to take these names real quick down here. Color. I don't know what this is and why it keeps fucking popping up, but I hate it. What the fuck is this? Leave me alone. Okay. Program state settings, and that's going to be auto. Oh man, I really wish. I'm gonna friggin' bring this. Why is this over here? There we go. Okay. We need the struct. What is the name? Auto. Very long name, but that's okay. I don't know what. Oh, that's for the for loop. No. What's this? There you go. Oh. Oops. Heh. Or. What am I doing? I am tripping. Runtime logging. I'm curious. There might be a better way to do this. I mean, it's only 5, so it's not the end of the world, but I'm pretty confident I'll come up with a better one. What do we got? Skip. True, false. Oh, you know what? These actually actually might want to be false, 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 true, true. I have them backwards. These should be 1 by default. False, false. Okay, almost done. I still don't remember what these 2 settings are. I think this is for the Python, the bulk data loader stuff. And then the name of this one is skip entry prompt. Okay. Now, let's go ahead, delete the config, and run this sucker again. And, oh, I did not set the default values. That's my bad. These should be 1, and these should be 0. Right, okay. Try it one more time. And there we go, and perfect. Okay. Alright, so we are loading the config file data into our global struct here program state. The settings specifically. That's good. So runtime logging loaded. Runtime logging read as disabled in config file, setting runtime logging to false. Okay. Color enabled loaded. Colors read as disabled and okay. A lot of this doesn't really. I don't think like this is just this doesn't need to be done. Looking at it, doesn't that none of that matters. It's loading it. We have it all loaded. The fucking logging of what's loaded does not really matter right now. We do have the logging function, and I am trying to rebuild it. So I mean, we can. It doesn't. It seems kind of weird. I don't know, to have all of that. It just seems like so much extra shit that I don't need right now. I can make this thing very lean. But it is runtime logging, so I mean, this is going to be runtime stuff. Okay, runtime pt.2 log file, and our message. So let's go ahead, just do it real quick. So if the value is no, it would be too much. Way too much. I'd have to do all of this. I don't want to do all of that for each one. So that's why this function's so big. Okay, so we can move past that now. Creating fig file. Fig file has been generated. Oh, I forgot something. Generated by Hallpass Hero CLI tool. It is unadvised. Unadvised? To edit the file manually. Change the settings. I forgot this. Well, if I add that in now, it'll mess up my iteration over the array. I could skip over it. Sure, why not? Yeah, that would become a problem. Let's do that, and we can just do this. We don't need the extra line. Do we? That kind of... Let's see what happens, because it's going to make things look really weird. Oh, you know what? You know what? I forgot to, at first I thought it worked, but then I'm like, wait a minute, no, it didn't work because, yeah. Menu options. For what? Content plus one. How is that out of bounds? One, two, three, four, five, six. That's the correct size. I see. Yes. So the new line characters. No, that's fucking with me. So can we skip 3? Try to access index 1, but length is 1. I need to fix these panic. Oh, hold on. Length is 1. What's wrong here? Okay, we need to. That's a bug. I mean, you're supposed to use raw strings. In fact, that's supposed to be caught and tell you to use raw strings. I don't know why this is saying I increased the size of the array. Length of content, so 6. Skipping 3. Okay, let's see here. If stray. Okay. And it's in the file, right? It is in the file. We can put this all on one line here. All right. Now, that's all good. The config file is set and its values are getting loaded. Great. And what else do we need to do? Oh, wrong thing. I'm looking for main.c. Main.c is what we want. We don't care about the DBs because we're not using SQLite. Make the directories, runtime config. Okay. All right. Looks like that all gets set up. And next thing is the main process is running, and then we handle our main, the command line here. Cool. This is great. Awesome. All right, let's clean this up a little bit here. Helpers. Okay, so now the main loop, the main menu. Let's do this. I have to come back to this. Okay, so that welcome to the Hallpass Hero main menu. Please select the option below. Main menu options. We already print that out, so that's fine. That's getting printed here. I'm gonna move that. And we'll just call handle main menu. Okay. Utils F gets in remove new line. Here we are handling the input the user makes in the main menu. We convert it to an integer. Right. Check and load config. We're already doing that again. Create a new roster. Oh wow, we're just jumping right into it. We need the database pretty soon, actually. I think I'm gonna need to break from this and worry about the settings and setting up everything else before we can actually continue with the main menu, because the main menu is pretty much set on needing the back end to be set up. So let's do some other shit while we can. In the meantime, we're going to close this. We're going to zoom in. We're going to go to theme, toggle, and we're going to change this up to something a little different that doesn't hurt as much. There was one I liked called TerraFox. No. Like Arrakis or something? I don't remember. I like changing my themes up, so if I flashbang you, I apologize. Seems I'm missing it. My laptop has them, but I guess this doesn't. Fuck. Alright. Let's go with this one, I guess. Oh, that's a little too dark. There we go. Okay. Let's think about this here. So, verify config format. How would this even work? It would need to verify that there's only two. We could read all the data from the file and match to our, like, a single string. And if they match, then perfect. Sadly, the values would be different occasionally, so that is not gonna work. I don't know. Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna we're gonna just go back to normal. I can't do this. I can't do it. Hurt my eyes. I don't know. No main menu. We can't really do much about this right now. Settings. So this is one thing I need. Okay, I do need to look at the settings for this. So, wait, what? my settings stored in SQLite? Rename database. Oh man. Okay, we can't do that one right now. Disable runtime logging, disable color, disable student ID generation, disable skipping. Okay, we're gonna look at this now. This is interesting. This is very interesting. So we have a function called show settings menu. Okay. Oh yeah, we have show current menu too. This just prints the current menu. Okay, where are? Oh, I like how I did this. Based off of the global state of this, what do we show? I like that. That is actually okay. Okay. A little bit annoying. I'm curious if there's another way I can do that, but probably not. Color enabled is 1, is 2. Or not 1, I'm sorry, 0 and 1. Cannot be any more than that. So 0 is basically, it's off, it's false. And 1 is, it's on, it's true, it's enabled. This will be number 1. Actually, no, you know what, we'll make it number 2 because there will be another. You know what we'll do? No. I was thinking we could probably pass this something. But what? What would it be? This seems excessive as fuck. I'm sure somebody's looking at me right now, write this, and they're just like, "What are you doing, bro?" Dude, I don't know, man. I don't even program for a living anymore, dude. I'm out of tech. Not really, but I'm out of software professionally. Can I just, holy fuck, can I just do, I need no magic numbers right now. Wait a minute. I want to try something. I've never actually tried this. I'm going to create a compile time constant. I'm going to. I'm fucking curious. Will this work? Okay, it won't, but not for the right reasons. Okay, I was curious about that. That's actually very interesting. I'm gonna call that a bug. Maybe. I don't know. More of a question. Should a compile time? I think so, right? Like that'd be pretty interesting. Okay. What was I doing? Yeah, this doesn't seem right. But we're gonna just do enable or sorry, disabled, enabled. No, we could do. We could just use an enum too. This hasn't been the most productive. Oh no, we can't. We can't do that. We can't evaluate. So integer literals in easy are not able to be evaluated or compared to enum values, even if it's 0 and 0. I don't allow that. Which is kind of something I might change, but for now, fuck it. I don't care. I want to write this better. I really do. There's no way I want to rewrite all of this shit again. So we could possibly pass something and only use the code once, however many times we want. Let's do this. Let's do const possible settings. I don't know how to spell toggleable settings menu options. I don't know. We'll allocate 20 elements to that. So we could do something like, for one, no, we could do an array of maps. I'm missing something. Hold on. Now that surprises me. So this is actually incorrect. This should be requiring. This is a possible bug too. Hmm. I think what else is gonna happen? This should be telling me to go with mute, but it's file scope, so I don't know. What we could do is we can have our array of maps. So, for example, um, uh, so this is our array of maps, right? These are empty maps and easy. This is what they look like. So what I could do is, because each one of these will have two different options, whether it be enable or disable, we could do something with that. So I'm thinking maybe we can do something like we'll call it, we'll start here, rename database. Now, to be honest, now I'm thinking about it, Ostrich DB might be a little overkill. No. Just like that. That's one. We only have 5, I think. So let's go here. This will be 3, and 3 is going to be I messed up. I'm sorry. Enable, disable, color, enable color. Alright. That's 3. That's 3. Now we have 4. And 4 is going to be disable student ID generation. And 5 is going to be disable skipping bulk. Data loader confirmation. And 6 is going to be that. Okay, cool. Now up here, if program state is enabled, what was my original goal? My original goal was to not write all of this several times. So we have a map we can iterate over. This is tricky. So how would I do this? For each key value in, I would have to go through for each element in the array first, and then the map after that. Shoot, I don't think I have it. I lost my train of thought. Present is disabled. It would just be the same thing. We would just print so like instead of having this, we would just do like println, and even then it's super fucking long. Fucking 0, and then no, I'm not gonna. Damn it, that's not gonna work. I need to look at something. Okay, we could get all keys, but we need some sort of singular variable to work with. Wait, I fucked up. The keys and the value. I'm doing this really wrong. I'm storing technically values in both the key and value slot. It's kind of odd. So we could do for each item in this element in this array. Shoot, this is not actually going to work the way I wanted it to. many lines is this? I mean, it's only 30, 50 lines, 30 to 50 lines. It's not the end of the world, but there is a better way to do this. I just cannot think of it right now, man. I'm so tired. We couldn't, it'd be different if, hmm. Okay. I'm sorry this is taking me so long. I think for now, like, this just looks so fucking stupid. Currently enabled is disabled, is enabled. Enable runtime logging is enabled, but this could be placed. The problem is evaluating this, we'd still have to worry about both options. So it's like, well, what's the fucking point? Also, I didn't see what I wanted to see. I need to improve my maps section of this. Um, okay. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to go the way I was doing it back here. I'm not happy about it. I really think I can do something with this, but at the same time, I feel like it's much more work than if I just fucking. I'd be dumb if I just started typing this shit out. God, something about it's just pissing me off, man. Fuck. Okay, that's not gonna work. I don't. Yeah, fuck, man. All right, well, that was a nice try. um, actually, you know what? We can still keep some of this shit because I'm gonna need it. So we're looking for color enabled 3. Oh no, 2. Disable color. God, this is so frustrating writing some stupid fucking code like this. Like, I write bad code often. I don't mind it, but when I know there's a better way of doing something and I can't actually think of how to do it, that bothers me. Wait. What am I missing? Um, this should be 1. The database thing doesn't matter. We can add that to the end. Oh, fuck. This should be 1. This should be 2. This has been a very unproductive programming session. Um, mm, Starting to get kind of frustrated right now. Okay. It's shorter than what it is in here. You don't need break statements in easy. It just breaks automatically. Um, so that's cool, I guess. Alright, we can get rid of this shit. And what we'll do is we'll add the other one for the database later. Okay. Now let's just finish up by getting some input. So we have a main menu. Main menu needs to take user input as well. So user input. If user in is not equal range 0 to the length of main menu options. We can do not in. Oh, oh my. Whoopsie daisy. Whoopsie daisy. I feel like that would be a good feature if it's in range. That would be an interesting feature. I think that'd be very cool. Check if it's within a range. Alright, well we can't do it for now. We won't validate it at all. We'll just get the user input. If user in equals, I think settings is, what is settings? Settings is 7. We'll just do that right now. Okay, there we go. Settings menu. And that's that. Perfect. Okay, cool. Alright, I'm going to end this. This was not very productive. I didn't get much done. I did find a couple bugs and a couple features that one feature that I'm certain I'd want to add to the language. I think checking if something is within a range like this would be very cool, because you can use range in other places, but like this, you can do for I in range, or for each in range, or for each I in range, and you can use it for like when is conditions. So like I could do range 0 to whatever. So yeah, not much progress was made this session. We are getting our main menu printed. We have our configs loaded up in the config file, and we read from that config file and we load that into memory. So it's both on disk and in memory, which is good for the length of the program, for the lifetime of the program. And that's about all we did. So later.